before Logan ever made it to the ICU, before Dr. Mordecai, before the miracles, and before all the signs. Lisa, Logan's girlfriend, witnessed something she still can't explain to this day. As Logan struggled to breathe, he kept talking to someone she couldn't see. And then he said, we have to go now. We have to hurry. The problem was, there wasn't anybody there. Or at least, not anyone Lisa could see. And stay with me until the end of the story, because what happened at the hospital only deepened the mystery. The pain in Logan's side had continued to worsen throughout the day. I begged him again and again, "Logan, please let me take you to the emergency room." But every time I asked him, he'd answer, "No, Mama, I need Lisa to take me." There was something in his voice that I couldn't explain. It wasn't stubbornness, and it wasn't fear. It was certainty, a quiet certainty, as if somehow he already knew exactly how things were supposed to unfold. And looking back now, Proverbs 3:5 reminds me, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding." And at the time, I didn't understand. And today, I believe God was already guiding every step. Hours passed and the pain worsened. And finally, late that afternoon, Lisa got off work and headed home. But when she arrived, something immediately felt wrong. Logan was already sitting in his car. He was trying to start the ignition with his barbershop keys. Lisa rushed to the driver's side and asked, "Baby, what are you doing?" Instead of answering her, Logan turned his head and looked towards the passenger seat, as if he was sitting there beside someone. Then he said something neither of us would ever forget. He said, "We have to go now. We have to hurry." Lisa later told me that the words sent chills through her body because there was nobody there. At least nobody that Lisa could see. She stayed calm and told Logan she needed to run inside and grab the car keys. She gently leaned him against the car so he would steady himself while she hurried back towards the house. But as she ran back through the gate, something caught her eye. It was a large feather. Not a small feather, not a normal-sized feather, and thought to herself, "What kind of crazy bird has a feather that looks like that?" At the time, she didn't think much about it. She didn't know anything about angel feathers at the time. She certainly didn't know that feather would become part of a much larger story. Psalms 91:4 says, "He will cover you with his feathers, and under his wings you will find refuge." At the time, neither of us knew how much that verse would come to mean. And when Lisa returned to the car, Logan was slumped over the hood. His condition had worsened. She quickly helped him into the passenger seat and began the 20-minute drive to the emergency room in Jasper. As they drove, Logan held her hand tightly. Over and over he whispered, "I love you. Please don't leave me." As they were driving, Logan looked into the back seat and he spoke again. He said, "You need to hurry. We have to get there now." Lisa glanced into the back seat. No one was there. Yet somehow she found herself answering the empty space. I'm going as fast as I can. To this day, she can't fully explain why she even responded. She simply did. And somehow, in that moment, it felt completely normal. But the most incredible part of the story hasn't even happened yet. When they arrived at the hospital in Jasper, Logan could barely stand on his own. His skin had turned yellow, and his lips were blue. Every breath seemed harder than the one before. Lisa pulled up to the entrance of the emergency room and turned off the engine, preparing to help him inside. But Logan stopped her. "No," he said. Then he said something that would stay with her forever. "Go park the car. We've got this." We've got this? Not, I've got this. We've got this. Lisa hesitated. Logan could barely stand on his own. Who was we? But before she could get out of the car, Logan slowly opened the door and stepped out. And what happened next still gives both of us chills. As Logan began moving towards the hospital entrance, it looked as if he was leaning on someone. Not stumbling, not falling, leaning, somehow being supported and being steadied, as though someone was walking closely beside him, someone that Lisa couldn't see. To this day, Lisa believes she witnessed Logan's guardian angel helping him into the hospital. And honestly, I believe that too. Hebrews 1:14 asked, "Are not all angels ministering spirits sent to serve those who will inherit salvation?" And looking back now, I believe heaven was already moving. I believe God had assigned help for Logan. And I believe that Logan knew exactly who was standing beside him. The moment he entered the emergency room, everything changed. The nurses took one look at him and immediately rushed him to the back. There was no waiting. There was no paperwork, no delay. They knew he was in serious trouble. And only minutes later, Logan coded for the first time. His heart stopped, and suddenly the room exploded into activity. Doctors, nurses, machines, alarms going off, people moving as fast as humanly possible. But the story, it wasn't over there. Because before I ever reached the hospital, Logan coded again. This time, the doctors shocked his heart, but there was no time to sedate him. He felt everything, every ounce of it, all the pain. And when the electricity surged through his body, he let out a scream so powerful that it echoed throughout the emergency room. A scream that sounded like pure agony. Years later, I still thank God for this one thing. I wasn't there yet. I didn't hear him scream. Because honestly, I don't think I could have survived hearing my son make that sound. God knew exactly what I could handle and what I couldn't. Psalms 34:18 says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." Even before I arrived, God was already carrying us. And while all of this was happening, Lisa sat alone waiting, terrified, confused, trying to understand what was unfolding before her eyes. And that's when something beautiful happened. A nurse quietly approached her. She didn't rush. She didn't speak loudly. She simply walked over and stood by Lisa. Then she placed something tiny into Lisa's hand, a small Jesus figurine. And softly she said, "You're going to need Jesus tonight." And that's all she said. Just 7 words. But those 7 words became a lifeline, because that tiny Jesus would stay with us throughout every single day in the ICU, through every prayer, every miracle, every setback, every moment of hope. At the time, we didn't know any of that. All we knew was that God had sent comfort exactly when it was needed the most. And while Lisa sat there holding that little Jesus figurine, I was unaware of any of it. Do you believe God sends angels to walk beside us when we need them the most? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you'd like to continue learning about Logan's beautiful journey home, click the video right here. Because what happened after Logan arrived in Houston became the most extraordinary 7 days of our lives. The miracles were only the beginning. And see you in the next video. With love always, Angela and Logan.